Welcome to Women's Rugby Rundown 198 for April 20th through the 27th. The USA Women's Eagles hosted Japan for the first time on U.S. soil, falling just short in a thrilling back-and-forth match in Los Angeles, while the Eagles now head to Kansas City for a record-breaking clash against Canada to open the Pacific Four Series. England edged France 43-42 in one of the greatest Women's Six Nations matches ever to claim their fourth straight Grand Slam. And Scotland closed their Women's Six Nation campaign with a hard-fought, emotional win over Ireland. The HSBC Sevens season is set to wrap up in Los Angeles this weekend, with the 2025 Sevens Award nominees revealed. Around the globe, Japan aims for a three-peat in the Asia Rugby Championship. Fiji prepares to host the Wallaroos for the first time. Bohemian and Mwamba captured historic domestic titles in Ireland and Kenya. And excitement keeps building with over 275,000 tickets sold for the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025, with more becoming available in May. And of course, we'll round up all the global premiere and club news worldwide. I'm Wendy, here to bring you the latest in women's rugby news. This is your Women's Rugby Rundown, and we're about to kick off. We'll start with Sevens news. The nominees for the HSBC Sevens Awards for 2025 were revealed. This is, of course, the Rookie of the Year that we're showing here, but there's also the Women's Player of the Year and Women's Try of the Year, and you can go vote on that. The links are in our bio or on our website. You can vote on that until May 1st. The HSBC Sevens Series is going to wrap up this weekend in Los Angeles. New Zealand leads the grand final chase, but there's 8 teams in the fight for survival in the playoff, even as looming changes to promotion and relegation leave the future uncertain. Now let's switch over to 15's news. In front of a sellout crowd in Los Angeles, the USA Women's Eagles jumped out to a 21-7 lead, but couldn't hold off Japan, falling 39-33 in a back-and-forth battle, marking the first time the Japanese women played on U.S. soil. The USA now head to Kansas City for a record-breaking match that is in attendance. We already broke the record last weekend with a sold-out Wallace Annenberg Stadium in Los Angeles, but 7,500 plus tickets, it's got to be close to 10K now, have been sold for this match in Kansas City. That'll kick off the Pac-4 series, and then, of course, you can see the rest of USA's matches for the summer. In the Women's Six Nations, England led 31-21 at halftime and had to hold off a furious comeback to edge France 43-42. 1 point. They claimed their fourth straight Grand Slam and one of the greatest matches in the history of the Women's Six Nations. A last-minute try sealed a dramatic 26-19 win for Scotland over Ireland to close out their campaign. The last fixture that was rearranged because of the Pope's funeral, Italy won 44-12, and they had 34 unanswered points in the second half. Wales picks up the wooden spoon for the second time in a row. The 2025 Pacific Four Series runs May 2nd to the 23rd, with Canada looking to defend their title, New Zealand aiming to bounce back, and Australia and the USA pushing to climb global rankings ahead of the Rugby World Cup. Fresh off their win in the United States, Japan will head home and get straight into the 2025 Asia Rugby Women's Championship. They are looking to complete their second ever three-peat as they host Hong Kong and Kazakhstan. Fiji will host the Wallaroos for the first time ever on Saturday, May 3rd, and this is a major milestone for the growth of women's rugby in the country. Now let's switch over to club and premier news. Bohemian stunned Railway Union 29-24 with an 82nd minute try to go back-to-back as the Nigeria AIL champions. Mwamba held off Impala 10-5 to complete a historic Kenya Cup four-peat in a hard-fought final. In round 6 of WRR, TC Gemini edged the Bay Breakers 17-12. Denver Onyx shut out Chicago Tempest 41-0, and they move into first place. We've got 3 more games this weekend with number 1 and number 2 playing each other. Big matches in USA Club this weekend. It was the first of 4 super regionals, this one in the Pacific. Friday, we had some fantastic matches back and forth between San Diego and Utah. Utah taking the win there. Seattle was able to beat Santa Monica 31-5. Then on Sunday, Utah winning 33-26 over Seattle. But that game was spectacular. And if you missed it, try and go watch it on Boxcast because it was some of the best rugby we've seen in the country. On the D2 side of the bracket, it started on Saturday. First up was All Blues and Portland winning that one, and then Las Vegas taking it over Pasadena Royals 49-7. Moving into the finals on Sunday, another tight game. Portland put up all the fight they had, but Vegas scored in the last moments. They are moving on to the Final Four. The BC Premier semifinals are in the books, with Vancouver topping Burnaby Lake 43-17 and West Shore beating Castaway 46-19. They'll meet on the final on May 3rd. Spain's Iberdrola League was back in action. Sevilla beat Cisneros 27-20, and Sant Cugat took down Getxo 41-24 to punch their tickets to the semifinals, where they'll face Majadahonda and El Salvador next weekend. The Uganda Premiership also returned for round 11 with wins for the Thunderbirds and Black Pearls, who are still undefeated. Thomacau edged Turkey 17-15 in a thriller. There was a clutch conversion making the difference as both scored 3 tries apiece in round 3 of Fiji's Nasoka tournament. Sarawak Rugby Union is fielding a squad in the inaugural women's MSNS KRS Rugby League in Malaysia, kicking off April 26 with 5 teams competing, semifinals and finals set for June as a broader push to grow women's rugby in the area. That does it for us. Of course, there's more news on our site at yscrugby.com. If you never want to miss an episode of Women's Rugby Rundown, make sure you subscribe on Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, or any of our favorite social media platforms.